After the first stage of learning, we have acquired a preliminary understanding of the basic functions in WPS Spreadsheet. Now, we'll enter the next chapter regarding how we can efficiently process table data. In actual work, we may often need to process a large amount of data. For example, the employer requires you to quickly figure out the sales situation of different departments, or asks you to analyze whether the sales ability of an employee meets the standard, and so on. In data processing, the first thing we should have is the ability to find specified data. Therefore, in this lecture, we will learn about what GoTo and Find is. With so much data interspersed with each other in an Excel worksheet, it's impossible to look up the desired data with the naked eye. Take this data table as an example. Do you know how to figure out the differences between two columns of data quickly? Use the GoTo function to find differences. Select two columns of data. Head to the Home tab, click Find and Replace, and then GoTo, whose shortcut key is Ctrl-G. Check row differences, and click GoTo. Thus, the differences between the two columns are displayed clearly. Note that this function regards the first selected column as the reference. To illustrate more clearly, suppose that we select column B first and include column B to column A. Press Ctrl-G to activate the GoTo function, and click Row Differences to show the differences in column A. The example just demonstrated is actually one of the uses of the GoTo function that will be highlighted in this lecture. Briefly speaking, the GoTo function utilizes the various features of cells to achieve targeted lookups. Next, we'll have more knowledge of this function through this sales worksheet. Press Ctrl-G to open the GoTo dialog box, where we can see various options such as constants, blanks, formulas, and so on. It's easy to understand what blanks are. The empty cells without data are blanks. What are objects? Objects are the images, shapes, text boxes, and other elements inserted in the table. What are constants? For instance, the values input manually in the cells are under the category of constants. What are formulas? In the last lecture, we've introduced the definition of a formula, which is an equation that uses the equal sign as a guide to perform data calculations and return the result. The definitions of constant and formula are relative, which means in addition to constants, all the data in the cells are formulas. Let's have a little experiment. Select the entire table, press Ctrl-G, and select constants. Now, except for the column of data on the right, all the constants in the table are selected. Double-click this column of cells, and we can see that the datum in this column is generated by formulas. Next, press Ctrl-G to locate again. Select formulas, and then the cells composed of datum generated by formulas are selected. The option Visible Cells Only is used to locate the cells that can be seen currently. Let's take a common example to demonstrate. Assume that we have set a column of data to hide in advance in the original table. When we copy and paste the table, all the contents will be pasted to the new table, and the previously hidden data displayed normally. But we don't need this hidden data. Thus, the correct way to realize this operation is to reselect the table, press Ctrl-G, check Visible Cells Only, then press Ctrl-C to copy the table. At this time, the new table won't show the hidden datum. In addition, there's a shortcut to selecting visible cells. Select the table, press the shortcut keys Alt, semicolon, and then press Ctrl-C to copy and Ctrl-V to paste. We'll get the same result as well. Finally, we'll introduce a common problem in our work, that is, how to delete the blank lines in batches. Generally, the arrangement of the data imported from other systems is not standardized, such as this table, in which there are many blank rows and columns. In this example table, we press Ctrl-A to select the whole table, and press Ctrl-G to locate. Select blanks as locating condition, and click GoTo. Then, right-click on any empty cell. Select Delete, and select cells left, and the empty line on the left will be removed. Press Ctrl-G to select blanks again. Right-click the blank cells and click Delete. Selecting cells up will help us delete the blank lines above. There's no doubt the goto function is very impressive. However, it doesn't work when we want to look up the target cells according to more specific conditions, such as the cells with color. Fortunately, the find function can make up for this deficiency perfectly. Take this table as an example. Select the table, click the Home tab, click Find and Replace, and then Find, whose shortcut key is Ctrl F. The operation interface is very intuitive. We can enter the desired content in the Find What area. For instance, enter the keywords WPS Office, click Find Next to locate the cells containing WPS Office in turn. Click Find All to pop up a list at the bottom, where all the search results containing the specified keywords are displayed. You can also click Option to set more search conditions, such as the format of cells. Within, we can flexibly select the search range, such as the whole workbook or the current worksheet. In Look In, we can select the type of search objects, which is generally kept as Smart by default. In addition to finding the data, we can modify data in batches with the Replace function. At this time, we head to Replace and enter the content to be replaced in the Replace With area. For example, we input WPS Academy and click Replace All. Besides, the Find and Replace function can be used to delete some keywords. In the same example, suppose we need to delete all contents containing WPS Academy. Press Ctrl H to replace directly, and you don't need to enter anything in the Replace With area. This means the keywords are replaced by blanks, which is equivalent to deleting them. Finally, click Replace All. Example 1. Exact Search. Here's another example to better illustrate. This is a sales data sheet, and we need to replace the value of sales volume 0 with a null value. As the previous steps, press Ctrl H to replace, enter 0 in Find What, leave Replace With blank, and click Replace All. After replacing, all the contents containing 0 are deleted, which is obviously not in accordance with our goal. Then what can we do? Press the shortcut key Ctrl Z to head back to the last step. Select the table, press Ctrl H to replace, and click Option. And remember to check Math Entire Cell Contents, which means the contents in the cells should be exactly the same as the contents to search. Finally, click Replace All, so we can successfully replace 0 with a null value. Here's another example to better illustrate. Assume that a colleague filled some cells in the table with red and set a yellow font. Now we need to fill all the contents that meet the condition with orange and set the blue font. Here, we'll learn about how to find and replace according to the cell format. Press Ctrl H to replace, click Option, click Format, and All Formats. Now there appears a straw icon, and we select the target cell. Next, click Format after Replace With, where we can set the blue font and fill with orange, and click Replace All in the end. Note, after finding and replacing data with the Format option, we must clear format before the next operation, or the WPS system will default to memorize the most recent settings before closing, affecting subsequent data searches. The use of the accurate search criteria is introduced above. However, sometimes it's hard for us to specify the conditions when searching for data. For example, in this information form of players, each player's name is followed by brackets with nationality notes. Suppose now we only need to keep the players' names and delete all other information. In this case, we can use the approximate search function. Before introducing this function, we'd like to inform the conception of wildcard first. In WPS system, there are two wildcards as asterisk and question mark. When looking up the text, the asterisk can replace multiple characters, while the question mark can only replace one character. We select the table and press the shortcut Ctrl H. In the Find What edit box, input asterisk, representing all the characters in the brackets should be looked up. Next, Click Replace All to remove all brackets and the contents in them in the name column. Then, what if we need to look up the asterisk or question mark itself? Obviously, there's also a case where instead of an approximate search, we need to search for the asterisk or question mark itself. Thus, we need to enter tilde in the search box, then the asterisk, so that the system can return the desired result. At the end of this lecture, let's summarize and review the main points. We mainly studied two methods of targeted search, go to and find, which are the same in objectives to find the desired cells and different in search mechanism. Specifically speaking, go to plays its role based on the cell's own attributes, such as constants, formulas, and blanks, while find is more flexibly used to set some keywords and cell formats. In addition to exact search, we can use the two wildcards, asterisk and question mark, to apply the approximate lookup to the text. In the next lecture, we'll navigate to learn about the sort and filter function. Stay with WPS Academy for more Office techniques.